So this Hornets team is in a very interesting place. Obviously, they have Lamelo Ball as their franchise player, and he's MVP caliber going forward when he hits his prime. But he's been in and out of the rotation because of 2 injuries he sustained early on in the year. He just made his return, I believe, last night at the point of me recording this vid. But the Hornets have him, so that's a bright sign. But after that, it's a little bleak. There was obviously the fiasco with Miles Bridges, and I don't really know what's going on there, but I'm just going to assume that his time in Charlotte is over. Gordon Hayward has also been out of the rotation due to a shoulder injury. He's currently out as well. And there isn't really another piece on this team right now that you can confidently say can be a number 2 to Lamelo if the Hornets believe that they're going to be a perennial playoff team in the future. Obviously, the bright signs have been Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre, who have both shown out. But, I mean, if those are going to be your 2 leading scorers, it's only going to get you 15th place in the Eastern Conference. In terms of a young core, there's PJ Washington, who's been a consistent inside-out scorer at the 4 position, but he's 24 years old, so low-key, he's not even a part of the young core anymore, and he's going to be a restricted free agent come 2023. There's Nick Richards, who's shown really good signs as a rim-running 5, but he's 25 years old. James Boop Knight has not shown any sense of consistency early on in his career. Kind of the same thing with Kai Jones, and then there's Mark Williams, their most recent draft pick, but he is also dealing with an injury. So I can't really say that the Hornets' future is bleak because they do have Lamelo Ball, but we have to surround him with help sooner, much sooner, rather than later. So like I said, at this point of the year, the Hornets are 7-21, 15th in the Eastern Conference. This is a really bad year for them. A lot of the shit that's happened is not under the team's control. They've been dealt a bad hand. How can I really alleviate this? Obviously, there's this Terry Rozier contract. They gave him an extension that was kind of questionable. He's playing all right now, but I don't think him on this contract, on this team, is going to bode well for us in the future. There's Kelly Oubre, who's on an expiring contract, who's done wonders for his trade value. So I see this Brooklyn Nets trade, Cameron Thomas and Royce O'Neal for Kelly Oubre. This would be mainly for me to pick up Cam Thomas, who would have 2 years on his rookie deal after this current year. I don't think the Nets would want to give away Royce O'Neal because he's low-key played really well for them. So if I can make this work without having the Nets give up Royce O'Neal, I'll do that. Instead, you can give up this horrible Joe Harris contract. They can get off the Joe Harris contract and they can get Kelly, who's dropping 20 a game currently. The Nets are a contending team because they're in win-now mode. So they shouldn't make this deal. They want us to give up 2 seconds, and they're going to give us a first from Philly in 2027. I also want to look to offload Terry Rozier. This might be a harder trade because the contract it's not bad, but it's far from ideal. Now this is an interesting trade because the Wizards, though they're not a contending team, they're still looking to win now with Beal and Porzingis and Kuzma as their core. The Wizards could use another scorer. I don't think they're really invested in Johnny Davis right now, and Will Barton isn't having the best year of his career. So low-key, I'm thinking I'm going to make this trade. We're going to take a flyer on Johnny Davis, who is a lottery pick. The Wizards are going to get a win-now player in Rozier that can help them make the playoffs, because I think they're just on the outside looking in. They're the 12 seed, and we know the Wizards are never going to embrace a rebuild as long as they have Bradley Beal on their team. So yeah, I'm going to have them make this trade, and I'm going to make this trade mainly to get Johnny Davis. Now I'm going to move Rozier to the point guard so that he can start at the 1 next to Bradley Beal in the backcourt and secondary shooting guard. So you're welcome, Washington. Now you have a nice little quartet of win-now guys all around the same age. So now if I look at my team, I have 1, 2, 3, Um, technically 4, I guess, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we have enough playable guys. Let's make a rotation. 35 for Lamelo. We're gonna start Cam Thomas and Johnny Davis. Might as well get 10 minutes for JT Thor. Okay, so that's going to be the rotation for this season. And then we're going to adjust tendencies. Lamelo, 95 touch, 90 shot. That's fine for Johnny Davis. That's fine for Book Knight. Actually, they're both going to be 72, 72. Cam Thomas, same thing. Hopefully just one of these shooting guards can boom in potential. PJ Washington, come on. We'll put him up to 75, 70. And then that should be fine for now. Okay, so we're just going to simulate through the year. Oh, we have our pick, right? We should have our pick.
Bruh.
Oh, we don't have our pick? In what trade did we... We gave away our pick to the Spurs, but it's lottery protected. Okay, so as long as we're in the lottery, we will receive that pick. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so now Mark Williams is fully healed from injury. Yeah, so we're just going to take JT Thor's minutes. We're not going to play Joe Harris, and then we're going to get Mark Williams 12. Honestly, dude, yeah, we're gonna trade Mason Plumlee because we're just fully embracing the rebuild. This will be an upgrade for the Celtics, so we'll probably make this trade. Yeah, so we can get that second round pick. Boom. Okay, easy. So we got a second round pick out of Plumlee. Goodness. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline, and Gordon Hayward's healthy. I want to look to trade him. And I'm thinking of trading him to Indiana because they have cap space and they're actually making a playoff push, like in real life, but at this point of the season in the simulation, they are 7th in the Eastern Conference, 2 games above 500. And Indiana is not a free agency destination. It's not like they need cap space to sign anybody in free agency or anybody of like a max contract. So I'm gonna look to trade him there. Instead of a 2024 first, could I get a 2027 or this 2023 first from Boston, which is going to be like in the late 20s. They want a counter offer. They want me to give up 2 seconds. And yeah, we're also going to get O'Shea Brissett. So yeah, we're making that deal. It just makes sense for both teams. And that's not really going to change the rotation. Obviously, some guys came back like Dennis Smith, Mark Williams, and that's it. But yeah, we're pretty healthy right now, so we're just going to keep it moving until the end of the year. Okay, so we're pulling up on the end of the year. A couple of injuries to deal with. But yeah, we're pulling up on the end of the season in late March. 17, 18, and 58. It's likely we're going to lose 60 games on the year. Okay, a late injury, hairline fracture for Mark Williams. We'll just have the CPU adjust it. Okay, just some petty injuries. Get me to the end of the year already. Goodness, okay. So, finishing out, Luka gets MVP. Paolo, Rookie of the Year. Russell Westbrook. Okay, we're going to have to see how Russell Westbrook ended up in Golden State. I'm guessing either Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. Miles Turner, Defensive Player of the Year. Trey Jones, Most Improved. Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year. These are the All-NBA teams. No real surprises. All defensive teams. Okay, so a couple things. Luka, no. Luka, LeBron, and Shea are not making all defensive first teams. So rookie teams, we're looking for Mark Williams. We did not get Mark Williams. That's tough. So yeah, we probably had the worst record in the entire league. Wait. Yep, worst record in the entire league, so that means we're not getting the number 1 pick. That's just how 2K operates. We're probably going to slide to 5, which is tough. Wembanyama would have been dope for this team. Looking at season stats, Lamelo 22-9, 2 steals. PJ, solid. Dennis Smith was pretty good, 10-5, 50 from the field, 39 from 3. After that, Cam Thomas, not horrendous. James Bouknight, not horrendous. Johnny Davis, not horrendous. They pretty much all did the same exact thing, though Cam Thomas was much better from 3-point. Nick Richards was solid. Mark Williams, 7.5 for good efficiency from the field. Okay, so obviously the big point of this video is going to be this draft. I'll hope for Victor Wembanyama, but it's most likely not going to happen. Memphis wins the championship. So, alright, moment of truth. We can live watch it. Okay, so we're at 7. I don't think it can fall to 7. I think the lowest is 5, but regardless, we're here. Really hoping it doesn't fall to 5, but I know that's how 2K operates when you have the quote-unquote best odds at the number 1 pick. I should have been paying attention to see what teams jumped up into the top 3, but we didn't fall to 5 at least, so that's dope. We're still not predicted at 4, and we don't have 4, so we're going to be in the top 3. The Magic are predicted at 3, but this is where we're going to pick. So 3 is, I'm fine with picking at 3. So it looks like the Magic are going to have back-to-back. Wow, the Magic are going to have back-to-back number 1 picks. Shout out to them. They're really going to end up with Paolo and Wemby. That's crazy. But we're at number 3. But let's fill out our front office, which is probably shit. Mainly coaching. That's what we need to focus on. I guess Steve Clifford is fine for now. But yeah, our assistant is shit. Look at that offense and defensive coaching ratings. Same with our other assistant. I guess this one is decent, but also look at our budget. We can't really afford much. Was Steve Clifford signed this past offseason? That's a lot of money for Steve Clifford. I don't know if he's that guy. So yeah, we're firing you. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we'll get Logan Schmidt. And we don't have to pay him that much money. So we got to give him $5.5 million. That assistant is trash. We got to get a better assistant. Logan needs help with offense, so we'll get an offensive assistant coach. Okay, if we gotta sign more people, we can do that later. Now, if we go to the draft, right, we're just taking best available. Victor goes to Orlando, and I'm assuming Scoot Henderson goes to Indiana. Okay, I'm deciding between Cam Whitmore and Keontae George. Cam Whitmore. I don't think I've taken him in a rebuild yet, so we're rolling with that. Is there a way for me to trade for another pick? But it could make sense for the Warriors to give me a 2027 first because they're trying to win now. I don't need the second. I'll just take the first from you guys. So we'll simulate to our second. Oh, we have another first round pick. I don't know in what trade that was, but we have another one. Chris Murray is here. I literally get him in every rebuild, so I'm going to hold on that. There's Jacob Toppin. Ooh, low-key, yeah, I'm gonna take Jacob Toppin. Because why not? It's probably a real player. I've never drafted him before, so yeah, let's roll with that. So, Cam Whitmore's an 80 overall, W. Keontae George is only a 76. Perfect selection. Perfect selection. And then Jacob Toppin's a 71 with 6 badges, so that's dope as well. Boom. Okay. Team player options. Obviously, bring back Lamelo, Cam Thomas, Bouknight, Kai Jones. We'll bring back Maladon, but I think I'm going to let JT Thor slide and Bryce. Qualifying offers Nick Richards and PJ Washington. The PJ only wants $14 million. That's honestly fine. Nope. Our team would get canceled if I brought you back, bro. I'm sorry. Can't do it. There's nobody really that makes sense to overpay for, and we're not at that point in our rebuild. Though I'm pretty sure I have to check the protections on this 2024 pick because just because it said lottery protected, I don't think the Spurs just get it outright this year. I'm pretty sure it becomes like top 10 protected or something. So I'll double check that. Miles Turner is interesting. Indiana has not given him a contract, and he just won Defensive Player of the Year. Miles Turner still doesn't have a contract offer. I'm going to wait until day 3. And if he doesn't have a contract offer at that point, then I will pounce. Still no offers. I don't know why Indiana does not want to sign him. Are they really going to roll with that? Okay, I guess. Couldn't be me. You know what? I'll give them until day 5 because I want this to be as realistic as possible. Miles Turner literally just won Defensive Player of the Year. But hey, nobody's giving him a contract. So now is the time for me to swoop in. 4-year deal. Gonna flatline it at $22 million per year. It's gonna be our big signing of the video probably. And nobody has signed PJ. So I'm gonna give you a 4-year deal, front loaded, starting at $12 million. So we get Miles Turner, and we will most likely, okay, PJ, you want to make me wait, so we're gonna front load it, starting at $11.5 million. Boom. Okay, so we have our starting front court. It's going to be PJ Miles. Our starting perimeter is going to be Lamelo, Cam, and other Cam. Off the bench, I could rock with Teo Maledon, I guess. We have Davis and Book Knight. And then backup center is going to be Mark Williams. But I do want to sign like another veteran for mentorship. Karis LeVert is still here. He'd low-key be a good mentor for him. And he can honestly play backup point guard because he's a good playmaker. I'm going to make him a secondary point guard, and he has not been signed. So this could be a good vet for us to sign. We'll do a 2+1. So we're going to bring back Nick Richards on the qualifying offer. So I'm going to trade Luke Cornett just for like a pick. If the Jazz really want him, they can have him. The Spurs really want him. I'm just going to take 2 seconds from you guys. Looking at player progression, Lamelo's up to an 89. Cam Thomas is up to a 77. That's good. Johnny Davis up to a 76. LeVert is regressing, really. Mark Williams up to a 74. Book Knight 74. Teo Maledon 75. So he can honestly play a little bit. Are they going to let me extend? Oh, I thought they let us extend rookies in the offseason. That's so stupid. Because I wanted to extend Lamelo, but he's just going to have to hit restricted free agency. What the hell is this? Okay, so if we go to system 2.5 perimeter centric, goddamn. 3 stars, 7 seconds. We're going to rock with that. Or pace and space. 7 seconds or pace and space. Cam went more like 7 seconds, so we're going to roll with that. Honestly, I'm going to look to trade Nick Richards. We're going to roll with Mark Williams. He's got 3 more years on his contract, so of course he has a no trade clause. But he's going to accept some trades. He's approving trades to 20 teams. The Mavericks, oh yeah, they need a center. They lost Christian Wood. They need a center desperately. So this trade makes sense, and it's lottery protected, and I'm giving back a 2nd round pick, so yeah, we'll make that trade. Last thing we gotta do is tendencies. Cam Whitmore, yeah, we're gonna give you 75 touches with an 80 take shot tendency. These 3, yeah, roughly the same. We'll drop LeVert down to a 70, but raise his touches, more of a playmaker. And then we'll up Mark to 60. and Miles Turner up to a 65. And then, yeah, that should be fine. In the meantime, we're going to simulate, and I'm going to check the status of our pick and the protections on it. Bro, these protections are so weird, but long story short, if it's in the lottery for these next 2 years, we do get the pick. You can research that yourself, but we're at the trade deadline, and we're 23-32, so we're much better than last year. Probably still on the outside looking into the playoff picture. Lamelo 21-10. He got an injury. I don't know why they didn't tell me he got an injury, because I would have adjusted the rotations myself. Cam Whitmore in his rookie year, 14-6-2, 41 from the field. 35 from 3 is better than I thought he would shoot. Johnny Davis, 13-2, 50 from the field. 42 from, okay. Good shit, Johnny Davis. He's playing really well. Miles Turner, 12-9, solid. 40 from 3, big ups. Levert, 12-4 off the bench, really efficiently. Cam Thomas, 12, 40 from the field, 36 from 3, not bad. Book Knight has been mid at best. And Mark Williams has not been really good. Okay, I don't know why they didn't tell me about these injuries, because I definitely wanted to adjust the rotation myself. I don't want Isaiah Thomas starting at point guard for me right now. I'm sorry. He can get some secondary minutes. Actually, no, we have Teo Maledon. I'm going to play Teo Maledon. And given the fact that Johnny Davis is balling out, he's got to be in the starting lineup. Okay, boom. So this is going to be the starting lineup now with these injuries. Levert starting at the point. We got Davis and Whitmore as our wings. Kai Jones still at the 4. Miles Turner at the 5. Why is his morale so fucking shitty? Overall status, horrible. Outraged by the way things are going right now. Okay, that's just fantastic given that I just gave you $20 million per year, but we're just gonna let it rock. No real trades to be made. Now LaMelo's healthy and they just did not let me know. I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? So it looks like we're going to be a lottery bound team given that we got plus 40 losses. Which means that this Spurs, or our pick, is still going to belong to us. It does not convey to San Antonio. So I'm just going to have to adjust that. Luka, another MVP, Victor, Rookie of the Year. Nick Smith, 23 game off the bench for them. AD, Rookie, or Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Edwards dropped 30 a game this year, got Most Improved. All NBA teams, no real surprises. Luka is not an all defensive player, so we're going to override that. And we're gonna give it to Drew Holiday. And yeah, those are all defensive teams. LaMelo is not even a defensive player. Yeah, Marcus Smart, of course. Okay, and then all rookie teams. Cam Whitmore makes all rookie first team. He's now an 82 overall. You'd love to see it. Okay, so obviously we did not make the playoffs, nor did we make the play-in. So we're going to be in the lottery, which means we keep our pick. If we look at the season stats at its end, Cam Whitmore, 14 a game. Efficiency kind of slid towards the end of the year, but still all rookie first team. Johnny Davis was really good. PJ Washington was pretty damn good. 13 a game, 48 from the field, 38 from 3. Cam Thomas was all right. Miles Turner was not the greatest. Maybe that's why his morale was down. Levert was a good pickup. Maledon actually played really well in that one game. 9 points, 4 assists on 66.7 from the field. Boop Knight was mid, kind of low-key giving up on him. And Mark Williams got better as the season progressed. So another year of not making the playoffs. I'm looking to make the playoffs this upcoming season, as it is Minnesota v. Boston in the finals. I think Boston made the finals for 2 years in a row, or actually 3 years in a row, counting the one against Golden State, but they sweep the Timberwolves and Jason Tatum's finals MVP. Going into this offseason, you have to make an improvement somewhere. So our pick is going to be at 14 because that's where the Spurs, quote-unquote, have it. So our pick is going to be at 14 because that's where the Spurs, quote-unquote, have it. So I'm just going to turn trade override on really quickly. Oh, I can't make trades right now. But we will make that trade we're just gonna trade the second round pick that I do not care about to the Spurs for our first round pick in return. Wait. So our pick jumped up to 8 actually. Our pick jumped up to 8. So this is our pick. Our pick is number 8. Look, if you look at originally owned picks, it's the number 8 one. So that's the pick we actually get. I'm not cheesing. You saw it for yourself. So now I'm gonna turn where is this shit? Trade override back off. But wow, okay, so we actually jumped up to 8. So that kind of changes things. If I would want to move up in the draft, maybe to like, top 3. Rockets, Pacers, Thunder again. So we're gonna holler at OKC because they would be willing to move off of maybe number 4 and just move down to number 8. So OKC at 4, I'll give you 8, and I will also give you our pick in 2026, and I will give you 2 seconds. Let's move up to 4. Bit of an overpay, yeah, but I think that can be big time if we can move up to 4. So Xavier Booker, Omari Biliu, and DJ Wagner go. So who is remaining? Ron Holland, Isaiah Collier, Damon Collins. I hope Ron Holland is a real prospect because that's probably the one I'm going to draft. Yep, 6'8", 195-pound power forward. That's going to be who we draft. He's a 78 overall. Aaron Bradshaw was a 79, but Holland has more badges. So yeah, we got another forward. I'm low-key, that kind of makes me more willing to move on from PJ. We're going to bring back everybody except Davis Bertans. So I'm not going to offer Lamelo the qualifying offer because we're giving him a max contract. So now we're going to have to match this Bulls contract. Okay. So now if we look at our team, 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5. Have a lot of wings. Actually, no, I'm done with Book Knight, probably. He's just not developing and not really playing that well. So I'm done with Book Knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for now. I guess 9, 10 for now. But I think I'm gonna look to make a trade involving PJ Washington because Ron Holland's already better than him and he can play the 4. Were the Suns bad last year? They were mid, so they might just be looking to shake things up. So I'll make this trade. I'll also involve some second round picks. I don't need Dante DiVincenzo. Take a 2028 second. Okay, so we're adding Cam Johnson, who's going to be our backup small forward. Ron Holland's going to be our starting power forward. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 playable guys. We can look to add some veterans. Like I'll probably add Buddy Hield. He can definitely mentor somebody. 2-year contract, player option. We'll add a minimum point like Caruso. 2-year deal. We'll bring in DeMarcus Cousins. Why not? Minimum contract. Melo's up to a 92, Miles Turner 84, Cam Whitmore 81, Johnny Davis 79, Cam Thomas 78, Mark Williams 76, Kai Jones up to a 75. So I'm really hoping for big showings from Whitmore and Ron Holland. Okay, we're gonna up Cam Whitmore to an 80 shot tendency, 80 touches. Ron Holland we can drop to 75, 75. Johnny Davis 70, 70. Cam Thomas is our 6th man, so we can say it's 75 for shots. And we're gonna up Buddy to 70, lower his touches to 65. Okay, that should be fine. Our forwards cannot shoot Whitmore and Holland, so that's kind of worrisome. But Miles Turner can stretch the floor at the 5, so hopefully it just can counterbalance. We'll see though.